Try to organize my mind while the world falls behind. Slow waltz around the sun. Every year reveals a change. Looking back now, feeling strange. We all learn to be someone. What happens next? What happens next? Won't pretend to know. What happens next? I heard you say to love is to let go. Turning out the light again while I wrestle what's within. Looking out for a friend. What's the one rule we forgot? Say the story or the plot. Something new is overdue. What happens next? What happens next? Won't pretend to know. What happens next? I heard you say to love is to let go. What happens next? What happens next? Won't pretend to know. What happens next? What happens next? Won't pretend to know. What happens next? I heard you say to love is to let go. What happens next?
So the other day when we were chilling outside the house, there was a bit of commotion from the dogs. They just ran to a certain tree and we noticed that they were on attack mode, like they had seen something and they were trying to fend it away. We called them back to where we were and Amara went to check on what was disturbing their peace. He noticed a red snake that had climbed on a tree and that was disturbing the dogs. And it wasn't just any snake, it was a red spitting cobra. Now these snakes are very common here in Kajiado, but this is the first time that the dogs encountered it. And by the time we had noticed and Amara had managed to chase it away, Howie and Arizu were scratching on their eyes. We quickly took some water and cleaned out their eyes to get rid of the poison, or at least some of the poison. In the morning, Howie's eye was swollen shut, swollen. So we decided to put a collar on her so that she can stop scratching. But Arizu's eye was not as bad as Howie's. We were so scared that she had lost her eye, but after a few days of cleaning her every other time, she regained her eye, and now it's just a bit lazy, but both of the dogs are doing just fine. We have spotted a lot of different types of snakes in our property. First off, there is a spotted bush snake. This is our resident snake. We always spot it when it's out basking in the sun. It's not a poisonous snake, it's a tiny, very, very beautiful snake. And sometimes it spooks the cats. Like here, you can see Suki trying to figure out what it wants to do. It's not venomous, so we just let it be. It keeps everyone on their toes and alert every other minute. A majority of the snakes around are sadly very venomous. Like the one that attacked our dog is a red spitting cobra. We filmed this one just next to the garden. It's a very beautiful snake, but highly venomous. It spits its poison in your eyes so that it can render you blind, so that it can be able to flee. We also encountered a black spitting cobra in the chicken coop. It didn't hurt anyone, so it just came, took some eggs and left. We've also encountered very highly venomous snakes like the pafada, which you saw the other night in the chicken coop. This one is very, very big and it climbed the trees. We were very, very shocked about that. The deadliest of all is black mamba. It's very, very fast and also very secretive. You rarely see it. I think we've seen it like 2 or 3 times in our 5 years here. We've seen way more species, but we're still trying to figure out what they are, and the best way for us to keep them at bay is making sure there are no bushes around the house, especially where we walk on our paths and on our ways. A lot of you have given us plenty of suggestions, like planting snake plants to deter the snakes, or burning tires day in day out so that they cannot come to our compound, or using engine oil, or using Carol. This is a disinfectant for toilets. I can assure you most of these things don't work at all. And for example, we have snake plants planted in clusters and in rows scattered everywhere, but we still see snakes walking around them. Most of you would ask, why would we choose to live in such a place with such dangerous animals? And the reason is, nothing would beat the tranquility of living in nature, among nature, living one with the land. The peace of mind that one gets when you're just relaxing and watching birds go by, or watching giraffes or antelopes grazing nearby. If you look at the hazards that come with living in the city, they are way more than the slow-paced life that we live here in the wild. Most of the animals here are just up to looking for their food, and they're just on their way. So long as you're not in the menu, I think you'll be okay. What we have learned from the locals here is that if you don't disturb the wild animals, they won't disturb you. And for this case, the dogs went for the attack, and in retaliation, the snake spat on them. Moving forward, to protect our dogs, we will definitely not be caging them, as some of you have told us, but we'll be keeping an eye on them more often, so to make sure they're not getting into trouble. All we can do is be mindful of our steps and make sure that wherever we are sitting or hanging out is safe for us and our animals.